Hi, my name is Rakesh Singh and I welcome you on this jQuery video session. Thank you so much for joining Naresh IT Technologies video session. This video session we are going to discuss for checkbox example using jQuery functionality part 2. We have already discussed the part 1 video session how to work with the checkbox with two examples. One example is what? Working with a checkbox, nothing but single checkbox as a toggle option to perform any operation based on the true and false condition. And the second example we have been discussed, the working with a group of checkbox in which user may check multiple checkbox option or any one checkbox option or any two checkbox option, and after that user may click on the submit button. As soon as user click on the submit button, so what are the checkbox in a group are checked, that display number of checkboxes are checked, and for those checkboxes what are their text and what are their values must be appeared, which we have discussed in the part 1 video session. Now this is the part 2 video session in which we are going to continue one more example. Display the total number of elements and the text values of a group of checked checkboxes when a user click the checkbox itself. In the previous video session, in example number 2, whenever user click on the submit button, but in this example what requirement is going to come whenever user is trying to check any checkbox option. So while checking the checkbox option only to be identify how many checkboxes are till now it is checked and what are their text and what are their values. Suppose user is trying to uncheck the checkboxes, and by unchecking, if all checkboxes are unchecked in a group, means a single checkbox is not checked, then message to be appear no checkbox checked, message should be display. So this example we are going to implement. So let's start with the development environment for this example. So in this case we are going to Visual Studio, right. So this is the develop environment where we have an HTML page, HTML page.html. In this page already I have from my previous video session some of the element. Select languages, we have one input element type of checkbox, id chk1, value vc hash, and name is what? Language. Means we are going to make a group by using the name attribute with the value what? Language. And for this input element type of checkbox we have the text by using the label which is associated with the for attribute and id of the what? Id value of the checkbox, Visual C#. Now similar to that we have one more input element type of checkbox, and the third one input element type of checkbox means we have the total 3 checkbox options, and all 3 checkbox option using the same group name by using the name attribute language, name attribute language, name attribute language, right. So in this checkbox options, user may select one checkbox option, user may select what? 2 checkbox option, user may select all 3 checkbox option. As soon as user is trying to checking the checkbox option or unchecking the checkbox option, at that moment only try to identify how many checkboxes till now are checked and what are their text and what are their values to be displayed into the div with the id div result, not on button submit click. So how we'll proceed means whenever these all checkboxes are going to be checked or going to be unchecked, that time only we have to identify, nothing but we have to handle the what? Change event of a group of checkboxes. So let's come to the code part where jQuery library script file is already referenced, another script section is defined in which there is a document already event is registered, and here we'll start writing the code. What requirement is dollar of, right, input colon checkbox, group of which one? Language, right, dot what is it? Change event function, right. Code block open and it is closed. So what we are doing that we are trying to handle the change event function, right, for which one? For all input element type of checkbox that uses a group name using name attribute what value language. Means we are going to associate a change event function to a group of checkboxes. So whenever a group of checkboxes going to be change their checked status or unchecked status, that time this event is going to fire. Right. In this, what is the first job? Whenever the change event function fired, then you are going to identify what are the till now checkboxes are checked in this group of checkboxes, count it. So where chkd count is one variable equals to, right, dollar of input colon, what is it, checkbox, name attribute equals to which group name, language, close, colon, what is it, checked. So we are going to filter out those group of checkboxes which are, what is it, checked. So in this group of checkboxes is going to find out only those checkboxes which are till now it is checked, and we want to count how many are checked. So dot, there is a property called length. So in this variable we got, what is it, all the checkboxes in a group which are checked by using the what, length property. Fine. Now after this, what required? To get the text and get the values for those all checkboxes in a group which are checked. So one variable where text equals to empty and where values equals to empty, like how we have done in the previous video session. Two variable declared to get the text and get the what, values. Now what will do that, dollar of input colon checkbox name attribute equals to value, that is what, language, right, colon checked. And for these all checked checkboxes we have to iterate, and in the iteration we have to get one by one each checked checkboxes and get their text which is associated with what, label element, and get their values. So for that purpose, dot is a method called what, each of, what is it, function body open and closed, right. In this we have to get the text, we have to get the values. First I am getting the values, very easy, values plus equals to dollar of this, dollar this going to give you what, in this iteration for the all checked checkboxes one by one element is going to get into a dollar of this, and for that element what value contains, just we wanted to get that val method. So using this val method we will get the value of those input element type of checkbox which belong to this group name language, and that must be what, checked, and every input element having the value attribute, some value is defined. So this value we can fetch by using what method, val method. And in this I would like to concatenate, what is it, line break, that is a br, a new line, all value to be concatenated. Now get the, what is it, text also for each checkbox in the group which are checked. So for this particular purpose, I told you in a previous video session also, there is no text property, there is no text attribute you can say available for any input element. You have defined the text for this input element by using the what, label. This label for whom, for the one checkbox which has id what, chk1, means this label text is associated to one input element with their id by using the what, for attribute. So we need to get this text, right, for each checked element. So what required, text plus equals to dollar of, what is that, label, means you are selecting the label, label for equals to which label, the label which is defined with the for attribute, their value must match with the what, checked checkbox id element, right. So label for equals to, here required ID of the checked element, but we don't know what is the ID of the checked element. So in that case, plus get the ID dynamically for the checked element. In this iteration, each checked element is going to represent into what? Dollar of this. So what do you write that? Plus dollar of this dot attr of what is that? ID. What this does? Dollar this means current checked element. By using attr function, getting the value of which attribute? ID. That concatenate to what? This for equals to. After that, plus square bracket close, double quotes. After that, the bracket must be closed. Dot, what is the method? Text method to get the text of the label. Text plus concatenate, what is it? Line break. Right, semicolon. So we got the values and we got the what is it? Text also in the iteration of the complete checked checkbox element. Whenever we click on the what is it? Checkboxes, and their state is going to be changed. So this event is going to fire, then this is going to iterate. Now after the iteration, means after the loop is over, need to display this all into the div result. So dollar of what is it? Hash div result dot using HTML method. Display these all things. So what first of all to display? Number of checked elements. So HTML of, right, chkd count plus, right, in double quotes, one space, plus in double quotes, check boxes. Right, check boxes. CHK count means what? 2, 3. Check boxes are checked. Are checked. After that, new line BR. Right. Checked languages are in B tag. Right. What is it? Checked languages are, or selected languages are, you can write anything, whatever you want to print. Selected languages or checked languages are, right, B tag close. In the new line BR with the what? B tag text. First of all I want to display text, B tag close, then line break, then what? Concatenate plus what is it? Texts to display. Right, and after that here what is it? B tag values. Right, B tag going to be closed, line break plus values concatenate. So in the div result, what display? Using HTML method, chkd count means number of checked elements which are counted, right? 2 or 3. Check boxes are checked. In a new line, selected languages are, nothing but checked languages are, their text into what? This text heading, and the text must be displayed. And after that, in new line, what is that? Values. Display what? All the values. So whatever the languages are checked, nothing but selected, for that what are the text available and what are the values are available, it is going to display into the this div result. And what I have to do one more things. If suppose you are going to click on the each checkbox, so that event called what? Change event is going to fire. But in case if you are going to click on that and if it is already checked, suppose, so it is going to be unchecked. So one time will come where if you click on each individual checkbox and those are already suppose checked, it is going to be unchecked. So at one moment every checkbox are what is it? Unchecked. So in that case I just want to display a message, no checkboxes checked. So what we will do that here, before going to display this what? The actual operation div result and all, right, we will write here code on the top, if what is that, dollar of input colon checkbox name equals to what is it, language group name dot is method of colon checked and going to be open. Means whenever anyone is checked in this group of checkbox, then only these all operation must be performed. Otherwise, else part display message in div result hash div result dot html of in a bold format with a style I can specify, is not mandatory but just standard, color colon red as a error message, what, no checkboxes, what is it, checked, and after the b tag is going to be closed, semicolon. So on the change event, first of all checking in a group of checkbox anyone is checked or not. If anyone is checked, then only proceed entire logic to execute. If no one is checked, this return false, and here by default what is it, checks with the true. So false equals to true, not at all, right? So this condition became false. Just go to else part, display message no checkbox is checked. If the condition true, then going to find out till now how many are checked and what are the checked. I want to get one by one and get their text, get their value with in this iteration, and after that display what is it, this div result. Save it. Now come to the browser and refresh the page. Page must be refreshed. So you can observe that there are 3 languages options are available. There is no button available. I am going to select any of the 3 languages or any 2 languages, any 1 languages, means it is a checkbox, it can allow to select multiple options. So Visual C Sharp, as soon as select, it is going to be checked. Once checked, then displaying right now 1 checkbox are checked, selected languages are text, what is it, Visual C Sharp, and their value what is it, VC hash. If user say I want Visual F hash also, so you can observe that in the case of Visual F hash, so before Visual F hash selection already Visual C Sharp is already selected. So whenever you click on this Visual F hash checked, so change event fire, and in the change event fire checking, is there anyone checked or not? Yes, 2 are checked, condition true, and now it is going to count it how many are checked till now. So 1 is the previous one plus 1 is what, new one, total how many, 2, and for those 2 what text, Visual C Sharp, Visual F hash, values VC hash, and what is a VFS hash. Same way Visual Basic, yes. So 3 languages options are selected, displaying 3 checkboxes are checked, selected languages are that their text, these all display, and their values are display. You may require to only work with the text, so please work with the text, do not use what, values. You may require to work with the only values, so please continue to work with the values only. You may require to work with the text and values both. That's what in this example I am trying to show you, text also and what is it, values also. Now suppose user say I don't like Visual C Sharp, Visual Basic also, Visual F hash. So if user is going to uncheck one by one, then also change event is going to fire. As soon as this last option also get unchecked, then display what message, no checkbox is checked, because all are what is it, unchecked. Now if user say again Visual C Sharp select, again displaying this one. So this example is demonstrated to us how to work on a group of checkboxes, to know how many checkboxes are checked and what are their text and what are their values whenever user trying to check any of the checkbox option, or whenever user trying to uncheck any of the checkbox option, instead of whenever user click on the what, submit button. So for that purpose this example we have been implemented in this way. So I hope you have been understood, right? This is all about today video session. We'll discuss with some more examples of the checkbox in the upcoming video session. Thank you so much for watching the Naresh IT Technologies video session. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe for getting more video.